who that prince is and who that king is. And he is peace and he is joy. And so as he is, so are we. So if he's the Prince of Peace and he came to bring peace, what should we bring? What should we be talking about? How should we be responding? Should we be weeping over people who want to fight back? Should we be weeping for people who want to pick up a sword? Should we be weeping when they just don't get it? When they just don't get it? When Jesus is telling them, you just don't get it? I'm going to read it. Luke chapter 19. I'm going to read it to you, why he was weeping. I was just imagining sitting there next to Jesus as he was weeping. Wow, that's so crazy. Where's it at? I think I wrote it down. Did I write it down? Wow. I think I miswrote it. If someone can write it up here for me, so I don't gotta look for it. I had it in here. It's when Jesus is weeping. Why am I going 1941? Oh yeah, 19 right here. And then when he come near, okay, see, right here, 41. It is 1941. 1941 through 44. And when he was come near, he beheld the city, and he wept over it, saying, if thou had known, even thou, at least in this day, thy day, the things which belong unto peace, unto thy peace. But now they are hid from your eyes. For the day shall come unto thee, that then enemy shall cast a trench about thee, and encompass around you, and keep thee on every side. He's telling them, like, you don't understand what's going to happen. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave any of the stone upon any other, because thou knowest not the time of this visitation. That's what he's saying. Like, your enemy is going to surround you. I'm coming to stop it. I'm coming to stop it. But if you don't listen, you won't listen to me. I'm trying to tell you, man, they're going to surround you. They're going to encompass you. They're going to kill you and your children. The judgment of God is coming, and I'm here to stop it. I'm here to stop it. I'm here to stop the judgment of God. That's what I love about prophets. Prophets always get in the way of the judgment of God. The judgment is coming. If they would have listened to him, if they would have listened to him, that wouldn't happen. But they didn't want to listen to him. And guess what? We still don't want to listen to him. We still want to listen to him. We still want to rise up against our enemies. We still want to pick up a sword. We still want to do these things physically. And Jesus is saying, man, it's hidden from your eyes. You just don't see it. You just don't see it. It's coming, man. It's coming. Yeah. So ask yourselves, is what I'm saying right now, is this of God? Is this a time? Is this a message for a time such as now? I mean, give it some thought. This has always been the message of Jesus. This has been Jesus' message since he started the ministry, since he picked his 12. This has been the message. This has been the message. And he cleared out the temple because they weren't allowing the people of God or the Gentiles to worship there. They were taking their space. And Jesus always wanted everyone to worship God. He always wanted to do that. That's why he came. He came so everyone could receive from God, because he was the bread. He was the living water. He was everything. And he gave himself for everyone. God so loved the world. Right? So, I love you guys in the name of Jesus. I hope this little study helped you out. There's just so much to this. There's just so much. I want to get deeper into it, but I got to get ready. I got to do some things. But I just want to come on here and now give it some thought. Go through it. Listen to it. I gave you some scriptures. So let me go through them. Psalms 118, Zechariah 9 through 10, Psalms 24, 7 through 10. Exodus 13 talks about the broken donkey neck law. And then you have, and it's also in the mitzvah 54, redemption of the firstborn donkey. And if you want to talk about Jesus coming in, Mark 11:1, Matt 21, 1 through 11, John 12 through 19. And then you also have John 12:20, and talks about the Greeks coming in to worship. John 12:13 through 14. And then you have Ezekiel 44, 1 through 2. And then you have Zechariah 14, 3 through 4. And Mount Olives, when he was going out there to pray, is Luke 21, 37. And where he wept is Luke 19, 41 through 44. And if you want to know about the spearing, why the zealots thought it was okay to raise up a revolt towards the Romans, that's in numerals 25, 11 through 13, and 25, 7 through 13, where he speared someone. And so it's very interesting. A lot of people thought Jesus was a zealot because of the way he talked. But I believe that he used that angle so Judas would betray him. I think that, you know, when Jesus said, okay, everyone go grab a sword, I think what he was doing was he was making them believe, not that he was tricking them, but he was making them believe, okay, it's time to revolt, it's time to fight, it's time to do what we're supposed to do. And I think that's why Judas went and betrayed him, because they're like, okay, Jesus is ready. That's why Jesus looked at him and said, do what you must. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Okay. And Judas is like, okay, I'm on my way. Right? And what ended up happening was Judas thought that Jesus was going to revolt. He thought that Jesus was going to fight back. But he sat there and didn't say anything. And it destroyed Judas. I believe it with all my heart. It destroyed Judas, because Judas is like, man, I believe this, and I could be wrong. I believe that when Judas found out that he was wrong, he repented and he took the money, threw the money back into the temple, and he went and he hung himself. He couldn't live with himself. The fact that, man, I thought this is what was going to happen. I really thought. I believe that Judas, his heart was in the right place. Now I know this is that the devil filled his heart. But I believe that, you know, he really wanted, I mean, hear me out, guys. He really wanted to get the land back for his people. He really wanted to be free from the Roman Empire. Like, we look at Judas like, oh, he betrayed Jesus. And yes, he did. But his heart was, man, we want to be free. We want to be free. And I think sometimes because we want to be free, we betray Jesus. And I think that's the story that we're supposed to get from that. That we want to be free so bad that we'll betray Jesus to do it our way. And that's why the Judas story is so vital to a Christian, because you need to understand that you yourself can kiss Jesus on the cheek in fellowship, but betray him at the same time by your actions. And that's what we do. Like, we say we love you, Jesus. We want to be with you. Be with us. We love you. We'll do anything for you. And then we'll betray one another and revolt against each other and cut each other down and say mean things and revile one another as followers of Christ, when that is not what he modeled. He didn't model that. That's the story of Judas. I think we see it from the wrong perspective. We say, oh man, you know, Judas. But as a rabbi, as a teacher, how can you take that story of Judas and use it towards yourself? Everything in the word is for you. It's given to you so you can learn, so you can grow. You yourself are a Judas at times, because you get into the old man and you kiss Jesus and you think you're doing the right thing, and you just want right. You want what's right? That's why we get into political stuff, because we want right. We want to back up this guy and that guy and this president and this at the same time. We're fighting each other on the streets. We're fighting each other constantly, thinking that this is how we do it. We pick up a physical sword like Peter did, and he swung it and he cut the ear off of the servant. You can't pick up a physical sword when you're with Jesus. You just can't. He told you not to. He told you not to swing it. The only sword we use is a spiritual sword, and that's truth, and we separate flesh from spirit. And that's the sword that we use. The Roman Empire uses a physical sword to cut you down.